Good morning, folks. It's 6:57 and I am inside of a very dry tent on a very wet morning. It's day 9 and I am going to wake up. Alrighty, good morning, y'all. It's 8:46 and I'm just breaking out of Muskrat Creek shelter. So it was me plus 5 last night, the 5 in the shelter. There was Kevin from Alaska, there was Braveheart, young woman from Augusta, and then there was, Viking Man and his companion, well, not, hiking companion, Tall Sun. They're from Richmond, Virginia, Richmond area. And then there was another guy whose name I didn't get, but he's from Canada. And he's actually burning up the miles. Today's only his 5th day on trail. So I think that's an average of like 16 miles a day or something that he's doing. He was first out of camp, which should be no surprise. And I am second to last out of camp, which, whatever. I'm not gonna catch feelings about it. But it was a pretty rainy night for sure. Rained heavy for a while, for quite a while, maybe for an hour or so, and then it was kind of off and on most of the night. But I slept like a champ, man. I slept so good. Might have been my best sleep on the trail so far, which is really, really great. So today I think I have 11 or 12 or 13 or something miles. I'm gonna try and get to Carter Gap Shelter. Originally I was planning on just doing 8 or so today to get to, I think it's Beach Campsite or Beach Gap or something like that, but I don't see any reason to only go 8 miles today so far. So I mean, if that changes, obviously I'll stop if I need to, but yesterday's 12 went really nicely, so I'm hoping today's 12 goes as nicely. And I'm kind of hoping if I get those 12 in today to Carter Gap, and if I am able to do something comparable the day after, I may be able to slide into Franklin before noon on Monday, which would be great. I am still planning that 0 on Tuesday, but boy, if I can get like a Nero plus 0, that would be pretty awesome. So anyways, it's supposed to be a little less rainy today, but I mean, we are still firmly in a cloud. I'm gonna go ahead and get to walking. Just wanted to check in with y'all. Good morning. trumpets. That little bird. Pretty bird song. Right in here. That's nice. That's not like an alert. He's just singing because he's happy. That's a beautiful thing. Haven't heard too many birds singing that way. Afternoon, folks. It is 2 minutes post meridian on day 9, and just kind of finishing up a lunch snack up here at Standing Indian Mountain. Great, I have service up here. I was able to check in on all your comments from my day 7 video, which I definitely appreciate. Glad you all enjoyed the sunset. For the one commenter who said that they were that their tilapia, leftover tilapia, wasn't sounding so good. It definitely sounds pretty good to me, so I hope you're able to enjoy that. Certainly better than a Domino's pizza, I'm sure. But I guess the grass is always greener on the other side. Anyways, I think it's about 3 miles to where I was initially planning on stopping tonight. But I think I pretty much scrapped that initial plan, and I think it's about 6 miles to where I am going to be stopping tonight at Carter. I think it's Carter Gap Shelter, Carter Springs Shelter, something like that. It is 6 miles, which means I'm about halfway there. But it looks like for the rest of the day, there's like 500 feet of elevation gain and about 1,200 feet of elevation descent, I guess, elevation loss. I don't know. Yeah, random question I was thinking about today. I actually asked Kevin when I ran into him on the trail, Kevin, who was at the shelter last night. Something I've been thinking about the past week or so with all this mist you can see everywhere. Now granted, I'm trying to drink as much water as possible, even when I'm not thirsty, you know. I think I'm starting to get the hang of feeling like knowing when my supplies of calories and water are getting low in my system. But nonetheless, I'm trying to be very deliberate about water, and food for that matter. But something I was thinking about with all this mist, do you need less water when it's misty like this? Like when there's like 1,000,000,000% humidity? I know that in the desert where it's really, really dry, you need way more water because like it's just getting sucked out of your skin, out of your eyes, out of your ears, out of your nose. When you're breathing, you're just breathing in dry air. And so I wonder, with this 100,000,000% humidity that we have, like I'm just in a cloud, do I need less water? I mean, not that I'm going to be drinking less, but just, do I? I don't know, drop a comment or something. 6 miles left, wind's picking up, and I'm gonna keep walking. is 2:48, and we're here at the Carter Gap Shelter. So this is a huge expanse of camping spots and fire pits and all that. I guess they actually closed up the old Carter Gap Shelter and like demolished it or whatever, and then moved it to the other side of the trail some time ago. I don't know when, but some time ago. So you still have kind of like all the old camp spots from the old shelter, as well as the ground which the old shelter was on, in addition to the new shelter. The tricky thing though is I'm not sure exactly where the new shelter is, so I guess I'll go this way and we'll see. All right, I found the actual shelter itself. It's just a little beyond all the signs, a little further north up the AT, not far, 100 feet, maybe less. But boy, what a luxurious shelter. You have this platform here, a lot of hanging hooks for bags and wet clothes and what have you. But what's nifty is you get this whole long bench right here. You get this old cooking table. And you get another bench right here. So I'm kind of in between because, as you can tell, there's no one here. And it would be cool to sleep in a shelter. Not have to worry about the tent, especially since I think we're getting weather tomorrow, maybe overnight tonight. But it's not yet 3 o'clock, and it's totally possible that other folks are gonna roll in with kind of the same idea, and I really don't like the idea of sharing shelters with COVID and all. So I'm gonna scour around, and I'm gonna see if I can find a great spot to pitch a tent, and if I do, that'll be the plan. And if I don't, well, I'll maybe pitch in an imperfect spot. All right, I found a great spot. I'm gonna get my gear, I'm gonna pitch it up. As usual, my chores are get the shelter ready, pitch a line for the bear bag, and change clothes, get out of the clothes I've been hiking in. So weather and timing and all that, mood, everything else will kind of affect the order in which those are done, but usually shelter comes first, so that's what I'm working on. All right, folks, 10 to 4. We got shelter all put together. I did walk to get some water and got 3 liters of water for tonight. Hopefully that'll be enough for tomorrow morning as well. Pitched my bear line. That's all pretty good. Boy, the view out behind the shelter here is not too shabby. I think where we left off, by the way, I said I was going to go ahead and get on shelter first. As soon as I stopped recording, a big flare of sunshine kind of spit up, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna get into my camp shoes and lose my socks and get all that stuff up on a line and start, hopefully, maybe getting a little bit dry in what little amount of sun is left. So there's my clothing, well, foot clothing anyways, and there's some of the view. It's starting to get a little hazy again. I don't know how much that's coming out for you. Yeah, rain was supposed to pick up again this evening, so I don't know if there'll be any sort of sunset for me to look at, but it's all just as well. Usually I'm pretty well bunked up by the time the sun actually starts going down. So now it is dinner time. Evening, y'all. It is 6:02 and I'm gonna turn in for the night. Definitely was a good day. Wound up not raining at all today, which was fantastic. But I did make it here to the shelter that I really wanted to get to. Tomorrow looks like it might be a wetter day, but who knows? It kind of feels like one of those times where everyone's just kind of guessing at the weather. It is 6 o'clock and there still is no one else who's arrived to this shelter. So I probably could have slept in the shelter tonight and that would have been fine, but whatever. I mean, I got this tent because I like this tent. I brought this tent because I like this tent. And I wouldn't be on the Appalachian Trail if I didn't plan on sleeping in a tent. So, yeah, it was definitely a good day today. I don't really have a whole lot more to say than that. I appreciate y'all checking in, as always. I haven't said in a while, but if you just happen to have this be your first video checking me out, if you've enjoyed what you watched, be sure to hit like, be sure to hit subscribe, all that, and you'll get all the notifications for all my videos as they come out. So thanks so much, guys. I appreciate y'all checking in. I will check back with y'all tomorrow.